Coming up, it's a cross-conference clash with Indianapolis taking on San Francisco. The Colts have won the last 4 against the 49ers, but can they make it 5 in a row? Find out on Sunday night.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Indianapolis Colts. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And he returns this to the 22. Colts offense ready to go here for the first time. And the former Philadelphia Eagle turned Indianapolis Colt Carson Wentz set to take over here at the controls in his first year in Indianapolis.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which is...
They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz. Steps away. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Javon Kinlaw with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. The 49er offense coming out here for the first time, led by their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo, 5th season with the 49ers, 8th overall in the National Football League.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the handoff, Sermon. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
Scat back, you go with the big man, hand him the ball, and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
Darius Leonard, the All-Pro, in on the tackle. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Garoppolo to Ayuk, first down 49ers.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On 2nd and 10, Garoppolo. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, but now it's 3rd down. Garoppolo. And that's incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Now a throw here to his running back. That catch good for only a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now Wentz. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Maurice Hurst able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week. And in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what...
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. That one goes for 36 yards.
One of the first big plays we've seen in this football game, and could that be the play that gets this game jump-started? It's taken a while as both teams have tried to settle in. Maybe now the pace will accelerate.
Frank Reich not so sure about that last call. He's going to go ahead and throw out the challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
That's a good shot. Here we go.
So Frank Reich had it right as his guys win the challenge. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines. Going to be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Carson Wentz and the Colt offense ready to go back to work. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To throw, it's Wentz. This goes out right to Doyle. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And Pascal's got it. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Wentz's throw into the hands of Pittman here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Again, it's Wentz. He's got it to Hilton. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 4 yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There are so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And his throw here is incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Trey Sermon, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down. From the gun, Sermon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A nice little juke. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Colts coming out now. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Now Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, here's Taylor. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Niners will go on offense. First and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and possession will switch hands, first and 10. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Throwing again on second down. Wentz. Flush to his right. And Wentz going to slide to a stop. He does have the first down. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. Chuba Hubbard, a touchdown run in the victory. And finally, on Monday Night Football, a good one in the NFC. Saints and Seahawks live from Lumen Field in Seattle. On now to a look at the next-gen stats for the Colts in that first half. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track. Meanwhile, for the Niners, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. This fielded right at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Another carry here for the fullback, Juszczyk. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Garoppolo looks to throw. Drops this one down to Sermon. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Right back to Juszczyk again. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. The drive stays alive. A third down gain of 8.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
From just shy of midfield, Garoppolo, his throw incomplete. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. From the gun, it's Taylor. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Wentz now to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wentz. He was looking for Michael Pittman that time. And now it's 3rd down. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. And Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Well, the 49ers settling in for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's...
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything, nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here comes the 49ers punter now. as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. So here are the Colts to take over. They were able to defeat Houston last week. They lead things here as well as they try to make it 2 victories in a row. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The 3rd running back taken the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, 3rd most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
And ultimately, this won't go for much, maybe a couple, but boy, he showed off that make-you-miss ability that certainly is in his arsenal. Second down, another run with Taylor.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And his throw is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure it's your kick.
Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And how about the situation that we're in right now? Because this is the 4th quarter. So you know there's some tired legs out there on defense and probably some tired minds as well trying to chase guys around for 4 quarters. But this is where conditioning, athleticism, that separates the good backs from the great backs, and that was an A-plus effort right there.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Garoppolo. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Quiddy Pay brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
And now, following the desperation turnover on downs, they're set up with a 1st and goal to go.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Taylor. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
They'll look to run with Taylor.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor.
His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Badgley on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
And San Francisco gets set to go here.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. So that one a disaster, a big loss there with 2nd down coming up. Now Garoppolo. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Garoppolo.
That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the 1st. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes.
Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's going to let it fly.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their 1st pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. On second down, it's Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Colts pick it up. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown.
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
We're going to shut you down. Here we go. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Garoppolo on first down. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball to the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Colts, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. For the Niners, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2 and 4 now on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.